Well, I think from that, before I left school, I worked a few years as a car mechanic, and then I went to college to do engineering, and then I got a job in Scottish Widows, the financial service industry. And just through I think I worked there about 34 years, I was more looking for a hobby. I didn't want to just finish work and sit down on the couch and watch daytime TV all the time. So I was very much kind of looking for something that I know I could do for myself. And I think if I'd tried art and it hadn't worked, I'd have probably went looking for something else. But just found art and just really enjoyed doing that, and that's all consuming. I'm dyslexic, so I very much during my career enjoyed understanding things through like pictures, diagrams, rather than spoken words, rather than reports. So at work I always like to illustrate to get my message across. So hopefully I was quite creative in that environment as well, even though it was very corporate environment. I didn't realise I would never be going back to physical facility because I decided to retire during lockdown. I just felt the time was right just to move on to something else. So I wasn't sad about leaving, because I kind of had lots to things to occupy me. I tried lots of things when I was doing art. I've done landscape, tried to do people, and I kept coming back to kind of still life. But it's quite funny, when I started the class, I always remember I used to go to the Tuesday class at least, and I always got basically saying, you're not painting what you see, you're not painting what you see. So I've always had quite an artistic license in terms of what I wanted to do, and probably my abstract still life was just taking it even further. But a lot of the pieces are kind of based on objects so there's for example, there's a ginger jar I do in a lot of them, and that's something my aunt had, and I've probably exaggerated it a lot. I'm totally zoned out, I'm totally working on that, I'm totally quite consumed about it. I would go in with a very loose idea based on some research. I would then sort of do a kind of, I would do a sort of sketch on the canvas, and I just go for it and just work on it. I enjoy meeting different people. As I say, met really a lot of nice people through School of Art and the courses I've been. We've done a couple of art fairs, which I've really enjoyed. So I think it's really boring for people. Like, I could talk about art for on and on, and it's great to meet like-minded people that like to talk about.
Do you think music influences your art?
Yeah, so that kind of happened by accident. And I was just driving home in the car one night, and I had just done a piece, and it was music. I thought, well, that music goes really well with my piece. It was a disco sound, so similarities, something disco, like loud beats, a rhythm, happy, uplifting. My pieces are loud. Hopefully they've got a bit of a rhythm to them in terms of where the colour palette is, and I thought I could then see the connection between disco music and then my pieces. So I started naming these pieces after disco music. So I spend some time picking the names. So I would do the piece, and then I would go into Spotify and then just listen to some music, and just like the last one I've done across there, it's called Celebration, and I just listened to the music, and like the minute I heard that, that totally goes.
What is the Borders Art Fair?
So for me, there's a couple of things out that art fair. There's the whole planning aspect of what you're going to do in the stand, how you're going to display your work, what information we're going to give customers, or like business cards, etc. So there's a whole organisation side of it as well. And then there's actually setting up. It always takes longer to set up than you think it will take. Set up, but as well as actually luckily enough for people to buy your art.
Can anyone become an artist?
I think that's up to the individual. That if the individual wants to try different things, it's. I would encourage people to try it and see what they think. It won't be for everyone, but what I what I did think is, so when I took up art, I probably had this preconcept and you needed to be naturally gifted to be an artist. And I think what I found going to art school is there is an artist toolkit and things you can learn, but I think the main thing is having your own vision of what you want to do, and making sure you're doing art for you and that you're happy with it. You're not really doing art for somebody else to please them.